circle, puts the shot in the air. Good! The game's over, and the Bulls have won.
This is the Notebook Wagering Show on the Wild Style Network. Here are your hosts, Q, Smitty, and Matt.
Hey, it's Thursday night. Notebook Wagering time, live from the Salisbury Center, fueled by Monster Energy. I am Smitty. I got my man Nails here. We're going to break down some NFL, some bets we have in play maybe. Some of these college bowl games that are just insane right now. It's like the hardest thing to try to do right now. I think it's harder than trying to pass the SATs back in high school right now, man. Trying to break down these bowl games, but we're going to try to do the best. We're going to try to cash for the weekend. I like having some cash in my pocket for the weekend. Maddie, how are you tonight?
Buddy, I am a mess. It is wrapping up a work week. My table's a mess. I'm overrun with cookies. If you see me shoving these cookies in my face, you know why. My hair's a mess. Everything's a mess right now. But one good thing, we're gonna start this off right. I got the Moose mug right here, the Clark Griswold Moose mug.
I love it.
I want to know something now. Eggnog, is it a yay or a nay? Because it's a hot button topic in Christmas circles.
I'm not a big eggnog guy. I've had eggnog.
I love it.
I mean, I've had eggnog, just eggnog. I've had somebody, that we've thrown a little bit more into the eggnog, and it's,
Hey, guys, I don't normally chime in, but you struck a nerve with us.
Go for it.
Yay on eggnog. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a group yay out here in the studio.
Okay, so let's do that. What do you have to have in your eggnog? I'm not a big eggnog guy, so
Myers Dark Rum.
Okay, so
Yep. I don't have Myers on hand, so it's Captain Morgan tonight.
Captain Morgan.
That's a good choice too.
Yep. I'm glad the studio's with me on the yay, because a lot of people don't like it. I guess it's kind of like a texture thingy. So
Yeah. Good call though. And then the Griswold mug makes it even better.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get after it tonight.
Jeff, is your house on fire? No, those are Christmas lights, Aunt Bethany. One of the greatest movies of all time, and we will probably watch it in my house over the holiday season here many, many times. Ken jumping in here tonight. He goes, no way on the eggnog. Yeah,
See, now wait a second. I'm going to have a little bone to pick with Ken, because my old man makes a special kind of eggnog, and I'm pretty sure he's had it before, along with some of my other cousins. So he might want to recant that statement.
Hey, Ken, you might not get invited over for the holidays. You better change it up here quick here. So, all right, man, here we go. I love it. Good little segment there, Matt. You can do the clean version, just a little eggnog, or you can do the throw a little alcohol into it, and there we go. So, all right, here, great cup, great mug, or whatever you want to call that there. So here we go. Here we got. Let's dive into it, man. We're about here winning money. Thanks again. We know it's a busy time of the year. It's the holiday season. We're going to try to win some money for everybody right now. So, Maddie, I know you just said coming on, you don't have a lot of plays in tonight or any, and maybe we can get you into a couple plays here as we're on air. I do have some plays tonight. Some are off. I have not checked any of these. I had Florida International money line minus 150. College of Charleston minus 135. I jumped on Marshall money line minus 125. UMass is later, 9 p.m. These are all college basketball games. Jump on these. Washington State tonight at 11 p.m. and Northern Iowa money line minus 160. I got a big card tonight. I don't know why. Why not? It's the season. Let's gamble. Let's go. And I got one in the NFL, and I got one in these crazy bowl games. I did a little teaser. I have a little theory I'm going to throw out, Matt, in a little bit to you about the bowl games here and what I'm doing tonight with the bowl game. So, but let's dive into it. We got a Thursday night game coming off, week 16, coming on in a little bit. We got the Saints. We got the Rams. Saints 7-7. Rams 7-7. 4-9-1 ATS. 8-5-1 ATS for the Rams. Matty, this Rams team's getting hot.
Yeah.
And the Saints are too. The Saints are there, but I just, I wrote down on the big giant index cards. Can we get a sponsor for index cards, especially these big ones? I love these big giant index cards. And I don't know, I'm a teacher, so sometimes I have them laying around my room, but if there's a company that can listen to this and you can send here at the Salisbury Center these big giant index cards, I'd appreciate it. I love them. But we got the Saints, 28-6 against Carolina, 24-6 against the Giants. They're scoring points. You got Carr. You never know what Carr is going to do. What Derek Carr is you going to get? Is he going to do much? Or is he going to complain and throw picks? That's not great competition, Matt. Carolina and the Giants. And I got some good stats here, but I'm going to let you rock and roll here on this. So what's going to happen tonight? And I'm going to rip myself here really fast. Last week on the show, I said, hey, let's take the Chargers and let's tease it up and let's take the under because Thursday night. And that game was like a MAC game from back in like 10 years ago on a Tuesday night. That game got up to like 70 points. That game was insane last week. What's going to happen this Thursday? Are we going to see craziness?
That game last week, that was Bishop Sycamore playing. That wasn't the Chargers. That was off the charts awful. Thank God I really didn't have too many plays on it. So tonight, it seems like everybody is saying take the Rams. And I mean everybody. Guys on VSiN, other people on the line, people in our circle, everybody. Bet the Rams. Bet the Rams. Even if it's money line, I'm like, man, something's fishy then. Really fishy. I'm probably going to steer clear. I do like the under 46. It may have even gone up a tick. I'm not sure. I do like 2 player props, but the one is horribly juiced. Kyron Williams, any touchdown, because McVay loves to grind out games, and he's getting a ton of touches. I think he's averaging 20 touches the last 4 games. And the other one I like is because Carr, over his last 2 games, maybe 3, I'm not positive on this, has only thrown the ball over 12 yards like 10 times. He's just check down, wide receiver screen, little slot hitch, stuff like that. So I like Kamara over 4.5 catches tonight. I don't like over his yards because I think this is going to be a kind of grind him out game. And then going back to Kyron Williams, if you like his over yardage play, even though it's high, it's still pretty good because I believe the Saints over the last X number of weeks rank like 31st against the run. And that's kind of surprising because their games are kind of low scoring. So I don't know. I don't have a play. If we do the old Santa Claus, put the guns in my head type of play tonight, I'd have to jump on the Rams too, probably laying 4. So.
All right, so I'm going to do a teaser play tonight. I jumped in. I took the Saints up to 10, and I did the under 51. And I think the Rams win this game. I do. I think this, but I'm going to take it up to 10, and I like the under in this. Now, I said it last week. Does this get crazy tonight? I hope not. That game was insane. I mean, I didn't watch a play of it. I was just tracking it. I can't stand Amazon. I'll tell you right now, everyone. You get into Amazon, and I'm one of these people. I have an attention span of about 20 seconds. And you got to get in, and you got, my wife has an account. It's the kids' account. Like both my daughter's names are there, my wife's and mine. And you got to click on it. Then you got to get in, and and then it goes to commercial, and I hate commercials. I mean, how many blue pill commercials of guys trying to get an erection you come on shows and stuff like that. So you get bored of those. You want to bounce off, and then you got to bounce off, and you go to the Big Bang Theory or go something else, and then you got to go back into the whole process again. I can't stand the Amazon games. So I didn't track it. I just tracked. I didn't really dive into it. It was boring to me, but that game was insane. I mean, I just couldn't believe how many touchdowns, and it didn't seem like the Chargers wanted to play. So, yeah, Matt, a prop I put down, that Williams, that running back for them. I mean, he's really tearing it up right now. I saw earlier today, I think it was from Joe Osborne, put down on X over 19.5, or maybe it was Joe Ewing or whatever. 19.5. Last 3 games, 27 carries, 25 carries, 21 carries. I mean, this guy's getting the ball. and he's running the ball great. 27 carries last week, 152 yards, touchdown against the Commanders. Stafford's playing well. Here is Joe Osborne. I think this was unbelievable. Here's the trend from covers this week. 17-4-1 ATS last 22 games played in December. They're 10-1-1 at home. I mean, the Rams are doing it at home right now. This is a good team. That Rams team. You get them in the playoffs. Ken, thank you. I know. Amazon games drive me crazy. Even if the Steelers, I just had to leave it on, and the Steelers were so bad on some of those Amazon games, I wanted to turn it off. We'll talk Steelers here in a second, but that's where I'm at tonight. Let's take it up. Let's take the dog up again, and let's take the points up and try to get a slower game tonight. So, all right, here we go. I can't wait. I got a couple questions. I'm going to really drill this guy with Steelers stuff tonight and Commanders. Saturday, NBC. We got the Steelers, 4:30. Can't wait, man. My parents are coming down. I know my dad's excited. He goes, Steelers 4:30. I don't know. Maybe he thinks getting out of the state of Pennsylvania, the luck's going to change. Come down to Virginia, and they're going to win a game. Can I break it to my dad right now? I'm going to see him here in a couple of days. It hasn't changed anything. They don't win down here, too. I'm having a hard time watching them here in the state of Virginia. All right, Bengals, 8-6, Steelers, 7-7. You know, the Steelers, another stat that's jumped out at me is the 4-10 to the over for the Steelers. They're averaging 15-20. And I said last week, let's take a chance. It's a great spot. They play better on the road. And I wore the Mitch Trubisky shirt. I wore the Bubby Brister shirt. I'm out of shirts, people. I don't have the Mike Tomczak. I don't have the Mark Malone shirt, Matt.
You're missing one. You need the Duck Hodges shirt.
Duck Hodges, okay.
You should have went out on the old eBay and found the Duck Hodges. Came on with a nice camo hat and a little duck call, because they're not winning this week either. That team is in disarray. The problem is, I actually think they might win this week, which is nuts to say. I think going back home, I think there'll be a sparse crowd, though, because of the holidays. I think you might get an influx of Bengals fans here, which could make it interesting. The weather looks fine. They've already seen Browning once, though, so they have that going for them. Watt's going to play. I believe the other guy on the Highsmith's ready to go. I'm not sure about Minka on the back end.
No, he's out. Both safeties are out. One suspended. He's out.
Yeah. Well,
Cam Hayward did get cleared today, Matt. He is going to play, but doesn't matter.
But Chase is supposedly out, so I think
is out. He's out.
Yeah, I think it's a huge play. I think this is one of those muck-it-up games, like they beat Cincinnati early, and I think they actually can get the win. There's no way I'm touching this bet, though. Either way, I'm staying as far away from this as possible. The only thing I might look at is a Chase Brown for the Bengals, maybe some receiving yards out of the backfield. That he's going to have to check it down with Chase out. You know he's going to get pressure on. That's the only look I have on this one. I mean, I really want the Steelers to lose. I want this heat to just keep going up on Tomlin, as it should. It's there, and it's kind of growing. It's kind of on like a 5 to a 6 right now on your oven dial, and it needs to go up to at least a 9 to get the high. And I hope they lose out and it gets fully blown up. So that's all I have on that one, buddy. I'll let you hit it.
Yeah, the only reason I agree with everything, I mean, I hope Mike Tomlin gets just crushed. I mean, I've said it for how many times now. He's a bum. I think he's a bum coach. That game last week, they got off to a great start, but and somebody said it on X, if they didn't block that punt and go up 13, I mean, that's how they went up 13-0. It was a block punt. Yeah. They got down to like the inch line and they scored. Without that game's a rout. And it was a rout anyway. It was a rout. And, you got so many problems with this team right now. And, I mean, I'm sorry. Cam Hayward was getting pushed back 7 yards. If you really watch that game, he was doing nothing. He must have had a concussion in the first quarter. He didn't even know where he was. So, and then now you have the whole Pickens thing that, Oh, I couldn't block. I could have got hurt. I mean, come on. And they're still doing the same thing. They're running the wrong running back. I've said it all year on this show. All year. They're running the wrong guy. And they're not playing the right people. Now, they have a lot of people out. Now, I want to see Mason Rudolph.
I can't buy that they have a lot of people out thing. But
they do. They're going to have both. I know where you're going, but they do have people out. They have both safeties out. They have some inside linebackers that might not. I'm saying for this game, Matt, not last week. No, they got their.
I'm just in general speaking. I'm kind of not even just Steelers. Anybody who criticizes or brings up something about a team and say, "Oh my God, they have tons of people out." There's 16 teams starting backup quarterbacks. I don't think
listen, I'm not making excuses. I'm not making excuses anymore. And the one thing about me with the Steelers, I think, and with you with the Commanders, that's your team. I think you tell it like it is. I tell it like it is. And I've been bashed on social media saying you're too hard on the team. No, I'm not. They're horrible. They're playing the wrong running back. They have a coach that is one of the most overrated coaches in the game. Their whole coaching staff's bad. They're making excuses. Deontay Johnson should have been benched for about a quarter or a half when he didn't fall on the fumble a couple weeks ago. He played. Pickin should not be playing now. And I said to my sister a couple weeks ago, I go, well, he should be getting frustrated. He doesn't get the ball. But after last week and then the comments, he shouldn't be playing.
No, and he shouldn't get the ball.
He shouldn't get the ball. So,
all right, can I go on 2 quick rants real quick?
Go for it, because I usually do the rants. Go for it.
Yeah. So I'm going to touch on the Steelers real quick. Man, who in that locker room? Where did they lose their leaders to get these guys in line? You would have to think Hayward would be there, but maybe he's just old and has had enough of it. And then you think Watt should be the next guy to step in there. They don't have like an Alan Faneck anymore. There's no Big Ben. Even a Hines Ward who might go in there and grab somebody by the neck and say, yo, get your head out of here. You know what? That's it. Like, I don't know, man. That team is horrible to watch. And I actually think Matt Canada should go on to Twitter, Instagram, everything, and find everybody who said something bad about him and respond to him and say, is this still really my fault? Because it doesn't matter if it is his fault or not. Everybody else who's there is more probably responsible than he is. It hasn't changed. Yep. And then second, I'm going to go back to Washington. If the Commanders and their new management, if they hire or trade or anything for Mike Tomlin, I am officially out on the franchise, and I'll become a Houston Texans fan with that fun young team and D'Amico Ryans and Stroud. I don't care if he's an Ohio State guy. I'm out. If they bring in Mike Tomlin to coach that team, I am officially out, and I'm done until he goes away. That's it. That's my rant.
I really like the rant. I think it's good. And I'm going to bounce, and we're going to go here quick. I agree with you. Where are the leaders? You don't have the James Ferrier. You don't have the Aaron Smith. You don't have the Troy. You don't have those guys anymore. You have a wide receiver that's dancing in the end zone down 20. You have a guy that just didn't block and go, well, I could have got hurt. But nobody gets counted out for it. There's just no accountability. Then they ask Tomlin, oh, they're going to play. Well, I've been saying it for a long time. And I'll tell you right now, what killed this team, go back on these shows. Go back a couple years ago. We have Shane P. Hallman that comes on, great draft guy, great, NFL guy, college guy. We do draft shows with him. I said, you can't draft Najee Harris. They did.
I was with you.
Yeah, you were. You can't draft Kenny Pickett. Hey, let's go get Freiermuth, tight end in the second round. We need a center.
Yeah, let's pass on one of the best centers coming out in Creed Humphrey.
Yeah. Oh, you know why we can't? He hurt his knee. Yeah, guess who he went to? Baltimore. In division. Yeah, it's fun now. All right, we're moving on from the Steelers. Take a teaser play with the Steelers this week. I love them. I think they hang. All right, here we go. Let's have some fun tonight. Hey, I put this down. Let's go Sunday 1 p.m. CBS. If you're in this area with this game, Cleveland Texans. You got Cleveland 9-5, Texans 8-6. Cleveland's favorite now, Matty, because CJ's not going to play again. Concussion.
Oh, is he officially out?
I've heard that from a couple things. I don't want to say official, but I think it is. I
looked earlier and I didn't see anything. So.
I heard that a little bit. Now, last week, Keenum 229, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Singletary, the running back, big game, 26 carries, 121 yards. Brown 8 for 82 and a touchdown. But here's the thing: Joe threw 3 picks last week. Now you can't be doing that. But, I mean, this guy was watching TV. What I heard was he was trying to get some jobs on TV, couldn't get it, and now he's quarterbacking. And I'll tell you what, the Browns, they're clicking better than Deshaun Watson with Joe Flacco. Cooper last week, 4 catches, 109, 1 touchdown. Trend right here. Here's the trend from Covers. Cleveland's defense is great, but not on the road. But can Case Keenum put up a lot of points if it's him? I like this. I'd stay with Cleveland. I think Flacco has a little magic right now. What do you have here, Matty, for this one?
I'm going to go Oppo. I'm going to take the Texans with a field goal, I think I'm going to take the Texans. Again, I need the hook. I've been burned so much by the hook this year, it's infuriating. And the only reason I think they get it done is they're winning like the Steelers have without Stroud. They find a way. I mean, I can't believe they pulled it out last week. Flacco, I do like him. I think he got those picks out of his way. I think he'll actually have a bounce back week. Not a bounce back, but I don't think he's going to throw 3 picks. Let's put it that way. I think they'll try to dumb it down a little bit and run the old kid from Kansas City more, who's getting more touches. Kareem Hunt, and then Ford, and Njoku's been a monster for him. So I think they'll simplify a little bit, keep this close. Like you said, though, they don't play as well on the road, but the defense is still really good. I think they can confuse Keenum or Davis Mills, depending on whose goes. But I like the Texans to hang and probably lose by 3. Maybe I'll get a push.
All right, I just want to go in the chat here. Rams are getting hot at the right time. Absolutely. I think one of the hottest teams right now. Great head coach. A lot of weapons. Running back now. They're running the ball. Thing with them is, in my opinion, Stafford. Don't turn the ball over. Cowboys. We'll get to the Cowboys in a second. Yeah, go for it.
So, something with the Rams real quick. Think about this. When you look at an MVP conversation, now we have, 4 to 5 really good candidates this year. You have Purdy, McCaffrey, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, and Prescott was in the mix too. Why isn't Matthew Stafford actually being talked about? When he's in there, he is money, and he has his team playing really well. I know they're 7-7?
7-7.
He's not a club, but he's putting up fantastic numbers. And when he has Kupp and Nakua healthy, man, look out next year for this team. I know McVay was rumored to be wanting to walk away, especially after winning the Super Bowl. I think that team's back, and I think they finally get their draft picks back this year after they mortgaged the farm to win that Super Bowl. Sorry to get off on a tangent, but yeah, I like what the Rams are doing.
No, I thought that was a great point. I mean, the Rams did go all in. They went all in on, trying to get that Super Bowl. Haven't had draft picks, and they're right there. And I think they're one of the hottest teams right now. And I think it's one of those teams, if you get in right now into the playoffs, watch out. You always see that. Yeah. You always get that in, March Madness, too. If this team gets in, heads up. Well, the Rams are one of those teams. Ken, I'll get to the Cowboys here in a second, because I have a little opinion on the Cowboys this week, too. So, okay, here we go. I want to read this, man. I love the chat. I love when Ken's in here, and I love when people are in here with the chat. So tell people to get in the chat and give some opinions here. Rams remind me of the Giants team that beat the Patriots as a wild card. Yeah. I mean, this team's dangerous. I think here's the thing with the Rams. I think you saw that a couple weeks ago when they came into Baltimore and the game was a little iffy. The weather was bad. It wasn't like freezing out, but it was rainy. It was that. And you think, oh, dome team can't come in and compete against a team that's the number 1 seed in the AFC. Rams are right there. Should have won the game. The punt return in OT should have came back. About 5, I said it last week, 5 flags, people were saying. So, all right, here we go. I can't wait to get in this one. I'm gonna bounce this guy with some questions here. We're gonna go NFL heavy here because these bowl games are just wacky. You got the Commanders, 1 p.m. CBS Sunday, Christmas Eve. Get ready to open some gifts, drink some eggnog, do whatever you want to do on Christmas Eve against the Jets. No Aaron Rodgers. I'm a little disappointed. I wanted Aaron Rodgers. Who is it? Who's quarterbacking, Matt? What's his name? I don't think it's Zach Wilson either. Who came in last week for them?
Tim Boyle?
No, he's
Simeon.
Simeon, yeah. Tim Boyle, I think's gone. I think I saw him at Dick's Sporting Goods today. I think he sold me something for a Christmas gift. All right, Commanders 4-10, Jets 5-9. I don't know where you're going with this one. I watched the show down here. There's a show, and this guy came on, and he said, just don't bet this. Don't bet it. Well, there's people like us that we're degenerates, and we like betting some stuff. I take the Jets money line. I just cannot see taking – I don't even know what the money line is, so if it's a high juice, I probably won't. But I just can't see taking the Commanders. I think they're a train wreck. I think these guys are ready to be gone. And I'm not saying the Jets are a great team either. They got just destroyed last week. But I think their defense will be okay. I got a couple questions on the Commanders' future for you because you're a Commanders fan. But Any thoughts on this game? Go.
Yeah, that's a Jets. Especially, I don't know if Howell's going to play. I don't know what they're going to do at quarterback. There's been no hint. I mean, I know he stunk last week, but the team stinks. Just let him. He's got to learn. Jacoby Brissett isn't going to help your team. Just let Howell play. Let him throw it around 55 times. Who cares? They can't run the ball. Robinson's been dinged up. Rodriguez has been playing. They have good wide receivers. McLaurin's good. Samuel. Antonio Gibson's out there. Dotson. Just throw it. Logan Thomas. Their O-line is awful. This team is in big, big trouble going forward. They, too, have missed on draft picks. And I'm going to bring up one, I believe, from 2 years ago, which really irritated me. It was round 1. There was a really good lineman still there who's been playing really well. I forget who it is. And I was like, please take him. Please take him. They took Yamin Davis, the linebacker from Kentucky. I'm like, oh, terrific. Great. Linebacker who can't tackle or cover is going to come in and play in the NFC East. Great. Meanwhile, then in round 2, they could have had Nick Bolton, who plays for the Chiefs and is now an all-pro and a tackling machine. They've done it. They're basically the Steelers of the NFC right now when it comes to drafting their bums.
Now let's don't go crazy.
Oh, awful. They're awful. We didn't need Jahan Dotson round 1. Get out of here.
No, you did not.
Anyway,
no, you did not.
This team is in trouble. Deron Payne and the other big D tackle, both going to want out. And Jonathan Allen. And I don't blame him. I forget which one it said was, hey, I've been here for X number of years and I'm sick of losing. Well, it's not going to get any better. So this is kind of I hope they don't do this because it's going to be thin, but I hope they do it from a fan standpoint. I think they're going to have to trade McLaurin and then maybe one of the 2 D tackles and recoup some picks, maybe get a second, a third, and something else in there and just kind of go full rebuild because they're not winning the division. They're not beating the Eagles. They're not beating Dallas. And probably, sadly, somehow they're behind the Giants, which is almost impossible with Tommy Cutlets at quarterback. So they're a mess, Smitty. I don't even like to talk about it, and I'm telling you,
well,
if I will get gray hairs if they trade for Mike Tomlin.
Well, we probably already have gray hair. I know I got gray hair.
I
don't know
about
you. Maybe you're in better shape than I am. I got a lot of gray hair. So Okay, so I'm gonna hold off for the game for a second. So I'm gonna ask a couple more questions here because we're going NFL heavy this week a little bit because these bowl games just suck. Okay, so the talk down here this week, and I've been a lot of text messages with you, and you're very opinionated, which I like. Sometimes we don't agree with each other. Sometimes we go back and forth with each other, and that makes it great. And that makes this show great. So is Sam Howell your guy moving forward? Like next year, is Sam Howell your quarterback here for the Commanders?
Let me look at the standings, just where they might draft. Let me start there.
Right now, it's 4.
If they're at 4, then no, he's not.
Okay.
If they're at 4, and they can potentially get Caleb Williams, Drake May, or whoever else is going to go in there, I don't think he's your starter. And in fact, I'd trade him. I'd see if somebody else wants him. And I actually like him. I don't think he's nearly as bad as he's been playing recently. For he was leading the league in passing for a while, and they were in games. It's just that team is a mess. But it's a great question. But if I'm drafting 4, he's probably not my guy, and especially because Paddle Boat Ron or Pontoon Boat Ron anymore, because he's not Riverboat Ron, is gone. So the new coach might want to just fresh slate it.
Okay, so I'm gonna, because living here, I heard some mocks today. So they did an episode with the Junkies down here today. Great show down here, and one had them taking the offensive line guy out of Notre Dame. I think Joe Alt. Okay,
good.
Okay, I talked to a fellow coworker that's a big Notre Dame fan, and he's like, I don't want that. I don't want that. He wants a quarterback. Okay, another one here. Okay, so here was one. Then they said, let's trade. Here was a trade in one. Let's trade this Commanders up to number 1. And they were going to give up, the Bears were going to go down to number 4. They were going to take their spot. So they were going to swap number 1s. They were going to give up a number 2, a number 3, and a number 1 next year for the number 1 pick. Are you okay with that?
No. Could we give up a second, swap first, give him a second, and give up Terry McLaurin and get the 1?
Okay. So why, you've said that twice, so I'm going to ask this. Why are you so down on Terry McLaurin and saying, let's get him up?
I'm not down on him at all. I like him. I think he's their best tradable piece. And the Bears obviously need wide receivers. I mean, they're rumored to be going after Marvin Harrison. You automatically get a 1-1A with DJ Moore. So you now have McLaurin and DJ Moore to go with potentially who their quarterback could be, or if they stay with Fields. And now they're retooling in Chicago. And surprisingly, Chicago has a really good defense. I don't want to give up that many pieces. I don't want to be set back, because what if Caleb Williams doesn't even want to play there and then goes back to college or some kind of nonsense, and we lose all that crap, and we have to then draft, I don't know, Jaden Daniels at 1, and then stuff just goes awry and he turns into Achilles Smith. And our luck, that's what's going to happen. I get it. I don't want to make that trade. I don't want to give up all those pieces.
Yeah, and that's what I said, my coworker. I said, this is a team, in my belief, is that they have so many people that they need. And it's like the Steelers. Yeah. I'm not trying to bash the Commanders down here. I think the Steelers need so much help. That's why I like trade. I've said it to people and said, dangle Watt. And people are like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, why wouldn't you? The guy's 29. Are you winning next year? You're not winning next year. Give me a break. Who's your quarterback? You don't have a quarterback yet. Same thing. Get picks. Rebuild. Nobody wants to rebuild. All right. My thoughts on the game here. Brissett looked good. Moved the ball with McLaurin. I agree with you. Let Howell finish. Come on now.
Yeah.
Let Howell finish. Brissett did look good, but I mean, this team's ready to play golf. Come on now. Come on now. So guess what? Jets are not good. Here's the covers.com trend for everybody that's listening. Jets are 1-7 ATS in the first half. So if you're going to take the Commanders, look for that first half. Maybe winner. Let's get that card out of here because that game's a disgrace. All right, Ken. Ken's saying about getting maybe Maddie has a Christmas gift he needs. Ken said, I'll get you a Cowboys jersey. Hey.
I'm going to use a profanity right now, but I'm not going to. Starts with F.
A little stuffing stalker there for our man Matty here on Notebook Wagering.
Hey, just because you have me all fired up now, I just went back and looked at the Commanders/Redskins total draft this year. You know how many starters they have out of this draft, their past draft?
How many?
0. They have 0. 0 starters. Yeah. What a great job. I'm going to have to go back and look at 2022 too.
I like how he said, who got him fired up? I guess I did. I'm doing a great job as this host. Let me tell you something.
Oh, my God. 0 starters, I think, in 2022 as well. Unbelievable.
If Jeff's out there, give me a raise, Jeff. Come on now. I'm getting our guy fired up here tonight. Done. Thank you so much. Okay, here we go. Dallas. Hey, Jeff, I'm coming back at the end of the show. I got another Christmas movie thing for you. So just be around, okay? Just be around tonight.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, we got the Cowboys. We got Miami Dolphins. Hey, we said it last week. Listen to the show. I said take the Bills. This guy up in the beautiful state of Pennsylvania. I bet it's really warm right now up there. He said the Bills. We called it. We called it last week. We said they were going to thump Dallas. So here's my call this week. Ken's going to be very happy here in the chat. Dallas is going to go down and beat the Dolphins this week. Maddie, what do you have? I'll come back.
No chance.
No chance. Oh, we're not together. Okay.
Nope. They're now in the role of the Eagles with their tough schedule, and they play horrible on the road. And I believe that the Dolphins stadium is grass, and they're not good on grass either. So it's 2 strikes. Give me Mike McDaniel over Mike McCarthy. Give me speed over the team that just got bullied, and the Dolphins can run the ball. I think this is close, but I think the Dolphins beat Dallas this week. I think Dallas will get it a little better in the trenches. They need to play Mozzie Smith and these guys and kind of stack the line. They definitely need another defensive tackle when it comes to draft time for them. But if Parsons is like, when he gets out of the mix, their defense kind of gets lost. I think this is going to be a high-scoring game, though. I don't think both defenses are playing great right now. I would look to the over. This is the game where I would be, Smitty, let's tease this down and go to the over. And then I would actually tease the Dolphins to even get in points somehow. I know that's the curse. The jinx, don't go through the 0. But if you can get the Dolphins plus a field goal and a half at home, I'd do that, and I'd go the under or the over, which would be 45 when you tease it. So yeah, but I actually think the Dolphins to win this one.
All right, so Ken's not the biggest Cowboy fan. Ken, you led me on there a little bit in the chat today. You were a tease. That's okay. Here's the thing.
He is.
Here's the thing. I like teams that get blown out and come back. Dolphins, I'm not sold. If Hill's not playing, and listen, how about all the news that came out with Hill? Man, he's been a busy guy with the women. Woo. Goodness.
He can afford it.
Yeah, I guess. Guess what, man? He better be able to afford it, man. Woo. If you haven't, I'm not going to go all into that. Look him up and what's going on with him and having kids and the women right now. He's a busy guy. He's busy on the field. He's busy off the field. Good for him. All right, here we go. I like teams that come back after blowouts. I think this Dallas team's going to rebound. Earlier in the week, the whole offensive line didn't practice. They showed a video the other day on the Dolphins. Half the team, I mean, there was like 7 guys there. I don't even know why they held practice. They should just went out to lunch. I think this one's close. I was impressed with the Dolphins last week, man. Tua, everyone says he can't do much without Hill. Yeah, he had a pretty good game. Waddle had a really good game. I agree with you, man. They can run the ball. I love the head coach. I think the head coach is fantastic. I think Miami's onto something. They have some injuries right now. I just think Dallas is going to come back. I'm not saying Dallas is a better team than Miami. I think Miami's an okay team. Not bashing them or anything. I think Dallas comes back. I think Dallas beats them. That's my call. Okay, we're going to go quick here because we got some college games we got to get into. Here we go. Monday night. That's what? That's Christmas, right? I'm losing track of days. Track of days.
3 Christmas games.
3 Christmas days. Okay, games. Okay, so I'm just going with one right now. We have on the card Baltimore, San Francisco. You got the 2 best teams. Baltimore 11-3, San Francisco 11-3. Oh my goodness, Monday night. Man, the dogs have been barking on Monday night. Upsets, man. I think 7 or 8 in a row with the dogs winning outright on Monday night. It's a higher spread, Matt. 5.5, 46.5. I mean, this is number 1 seed against number 1 seed. I mean, is this, here, I'm going to throw on covers. Dogs, especially Baltimore. Baltimore, 19-3-1 ATS last 23 as a dog. I mean, this San Francisco team's so good at home. I mean, and they just score. I don't know what their team points are, but 34, 27, 31, 42, 28, 45 over the last couple games. I mean, this team can score. Purdy, McCaffrey, Samuel. I mean, they got guy after guy. Baltimore, they're good, but are they that good? Where's your mindset here, man? We're going to get another dog? Are they going to pull up the upset and win this game?
I don't think so. I think it's close. I think the Ravens are going to backdoor cover here. I think this is kind of a 10-point game going late. Lamar gets them down the field. They get a touchdown, and then they have to do like an onside kick and end up losing by the 3 or whatever. But this is the MVP favorites right now with Josh Allen knocking on the door. And I'm going to be selfish. I'm actually going to root for the Niners because I have a 20-1 ticket on Purdy, and I have a 22-1 ticket on Josh Allen. So if Purdy beats Lamar, I think that knocks Lamar out of the MVP race, just like Dak got knocked out last. He didn't get knocked out. He got knocked down. So I think the weapons are just too good for the Niners right now. McCaffrey's given 120 scrimmage yards and a touchdown. Debo's running the ball, catching the ball. Kittle is healthy. Brandon Ayuk stretches the field. The Ravens' defense is really good, but I don't think I think on paper they're good. They're kind of like, they're really smart, but they're like a bad test taker right now. They're not really holding up to it. So I like the Niners at home. I don't know if they're going to cover. I think this is one where you tease it down and you just do a straight, you pick them and get them at half a point. So, but yeah, give me the Niners. I think they get it done. I think they keep rolling.
All right, real quick. I just have some key info that I just think is fantastic from like Joe Osborne, just Evan Abrams, just under Sunday, Monday, 52-21 since last year, 27-10 Sunday Night Football, 25-11 Monday Night Football. I already told you about the Monday night games. The dogs have been going crazy. Keep an eye on the win games, everybody. Last week, 10+, went 4-1 on the unders. 22-8-1 this year on the unders when its wind is 10+. 114-58-1 the last 3 seasons, hitting 63%. So just a little key info. Kind of keep an eye out on that. And everybody was excited for a snow game here in Denver this week. It doesn't look that good now. And just want to throw it out. If you listen and you're like, man, those snow games that's an under. And I'm going to, hey, be careful on that. Quarterbacks have come out and said, guys can't rush. Very good. Offense knows where they're going. Defense does not. It's usually an overplay on those games. So, all right, Matty, you ready for the bowl games?
Yeah, I am.
All right, let's and listen. We've said it now for weeks about these bowl games. Just be careful. It's hard.
Oh.
We're gonna do the best job we can. Here's the worst one. Last week, and I'm gonna call myself out again. I had Old Dominion. I said play Old Dominion, which I didn't play it right away, and it jumped. It was like a -1.5, 2.5. I was going to jump on it, and it jumped up. So I did a money line parlay. I said, okay, let's match them with UTSA on Tuesday. Old Dominion, I mean, again, I've watched very little of these bowl games. Researched them, but not watching. Well, it's 28-7. Everything looked good. Well, next thing you know, it's an OT and they lose the game outright. And then UTSA covered the spread and won the game. That would have been a money line parlay winner for me, but Old Dominion, great job. It's hard. And then UTSA, Frank Harris, right before kick, quarterback. We've talked about him a lot on this show. Was going to play right before kick. Oh, he's not going to play. So good luck. We'll try to give out as best we can. Here we go. Duke, Troy, Birmingham Bowl. Noon, ABC. Troy minus 7.5, over under 44.5. Duke is 7-5. Troy is 11-2. Matty, I'm going to try to do my best notes here. You got coaches going all over the place. Both coaches are gone. One's at Tulane. One's going to Texas A&M. Duke has guys out galore. Quarterbacks out. Offensive line guys out. Defensive guys are out. Running backs out. Troy's going to try to run the ball. Game trends. You know, a lot of overs in this. Troy's good in bowl games. I mean, I'll give an opinion. What do you have in this? Do you have anything?
Yeah. Hammer Troy.
Hammer Troy. Hammer time. MC Hammer.
Pretty simple. With the Duke quarterback transferring to Notre Dame, hammer Troy.
Please, Hammer, don't hurt him. Okay.
Yeah, I think this is an easy bet. So I've gone 5-4 on college bowl games, and it should be 6-4. Thank you, Old Dominion. Your coach did a hell of a job. Should actually have his head re-examined after that loss. That is crazy what happened in that game. So I'm a little bitter there. I love the favorites. This set of bowl games. I love Troy. We don't have all that much time. I'm just going to say it. I love San Jose State. And then I had my friend Tom reach out to me, and he asked me about the Penn State Ole Miss game. I know it's next week. We've got a little time. But hammer Ole Miss. I think Penn State absolutely gets steamrolled in that game. I don't want to jump too far ahead, so let's keep going on these games coming up tomorrow.
Yeah, we're gonna break down. We got three more. I got three more on the card here. I'm still gonna give out Old Man in the Garage NFL upset. I know I missed that, and I have it down here in my notes, so I'm gonna give that out. And I think he has a really good one here and a good dog play this week, so I want to give that out here. All right, you got Air Force. You got James Madison. James Madison, one of the best stories this year. One of the local teams here in Virginia. Weren't qualified to play in a bowl, but had not enough teams qualified, so they got in, like Jacksonville State. Jacksonville State last week got a win. You got Air Force. Air Force. I love these service teams. I jumped at the beginning of the year, 8.5 win total for Air Force. They got 8. They were 8-0, everybody. Yeah, they didn't cover the line for me. That was tough. Good job, Air Force. A lot of injuries. Just didn't happen for me. But how do you go 8-0 and then you just – one game they were up 20 points and they lost the game. So, bad beats. Got to love it. Air Force 8-4. James Madison 11-1. Line right now is James Madison minus 1.5. Over-under is 40.5. 3:30 ABC game. Matt, again, you got – I think the coach from James Madison's gone. These service teams are good in bowl games, man. They're very disciplined. James Madison can stop the run. Here's my theory. I'm gonna jump. Here's my theory tonight. I don't know how it's gonna happen. I don't know how good it is. I don't even know what the score of the game is tonight. Let's just take these games up. If you look at some of these spreads, they're jumping down. I'm gonna try to talk and get on and see. I'm going to take dogs up. I'm going to just teaser. Let's teaser. I'm going to teaser some games up with the dogs and take the points up and take the under. I think it's a great teaser spot for an underplay. I would take Air Force up in this game, and I love James Madison, and I would take the under. That's my thought on this, and I'm going to do it for a lot of these bowl games. Go for it. Do you have anything on this?
Yeah, get spicy. Scrap that teaser. Just go Air Force money line. It's a one-score game in the bookie's eyes. It's 2. Come on now. If you think James Madison's going to prepare for this running offense, I know they're really good at stopping the run, but they have to. Now, they have had time to prepare for Air Force's triple wing T attack or whatever they call it. That quarterback is a monster. I don't think they're going to be able to stop him. You said it with the coach. I think they're on their 3rd coach. I think their original coach left. They hired a new coach, but he's not ready to coach. So they have like the D-line guy calling plays. And I'm like, what is going on here? It just, it called me and you down. I'll give it a shot. I'll print out some Tecmo Bowl plays and run that offense. This is nuts. This is Russian roulette when it comes to these bowl games. But yeah, I love Air Force. Go Air Force money line, get a juicy number.
All right, so I'm going to lead into this, and I know we're getting tight with time here, and we try to keep it under an hour or pretty close. And I got something for Jeff still with that Christmas thing. So you saying that about us coming down, man, I was watching Varsity Blues, one of our favorite movies on this show. I still just I go nuts at the end, man. How can Paul Walker, R.I.P., how can he come out and just coach that team at the end of that movie, Matt? What happened to all the assistant coaches on that staff? I know the head coach was crazy. In your opinion, how did no other coach stay on there and they had an 18-year-old kid calling that game at the end of in that movie? Any quick questions? Any answers on that?
I wish I knew the name of the strip club in that. They probably went to that strip club at halftime with Bud Kilmer. That's where they should have went. I mean, their run was over. Let the kids have it. Yeah.
I'll tell you, one of the greatest movies. If that movie comes on, you just got to watch that movie. I love that movie so much. I just think it's great how all the high school kids are calling plays at the end of the game. There's no, how many coaches aren't on a staff and they're just all gone and Paul Walker's calling the plays at the end. All right, here we go. I'm out of order here. Utah Northwestern, 7:30 ABC, the Las Vegas Bowl. Utah 8-4, Northwestern 7-5. Hey, one of the greatest stories in college this year, it was Northwestern. You had a whole scandal coming into the season, and I know I lost a bet. I had them under. I had them under like 2.5, 3. I can't remember what it was. I was the big loser on that. I don't even know. I didn't write down who the coach is. What a great job. I think he has the job now. Unbelievable job. Hats off to this guy. I mean, the crowd should be Utah. But here we go. Here we go again, everybody. Be careful. Wide receivers out for Utah. Quarterback. Main guy hasn't played all year. One guy's transferring. Now, the rumor is he's like, I'm going to quarterback, but I'm going to leave. I don't know how that's going to go. I mean, that's like if you say, you look at a girl and say, hey, we're going to prom. You're my girlfriend. And she goes, I am for a night, but I'm out by tomorrow. I'll tell you right now, that better be a great night. That's all I have to say. Now, fifth string quarterback might be the quarterback. I'll tell you right now, same thing. 41.5. I think this one's lower scoring. Let's tease this up. Let's tease Northwestern up. Let's do my little system. I have South Florida tonight. That's the game tonight against Syracuse. I took South Florida up, took the points up.
Good call.
Took the under.
Good call.
Took the under. So let's see. Here's the Todd Smith. Now, if I lose 1 or 2 in a row, the system's dead. If it keeps going, I'm just going to keep rolling. So next week, I'll tell you how the system's going. Might be a train wreck. But let's take Northwestern up, and let's do the under in this game. What do you got in this one, Matt?
I like the Utes, even though this is a mess. Kyle Whittingham is a terrific coach. However, super crazy stat. One of these teams is 0-4 in their last 4 bowl games, and one of these teams is 4-0 in their last 4 bowl games. And if you had to look at these two teams, you'd have to say, well, man, Utah's been really good over the past decade. They have to be 4-0. They're 0-4 in their last 4 bowl games. So I don't know. Maybe Whittingham shut it down for the bowl games. The coach's name, David Braun for Northwestern. He should be coach of the year with the job he did there. Like you said, their Vegas over-under was like 3. He more than doubled that in a pretty tough conference. Granted, he was on the weaker side of the conference, but that's an amazing job for everything that happened there. I do think this is a really close game. This is one that I won't touch, but I would take the Utah Utes in this one.
All right, last one we're going to cover tonight, 10:30 Saturday night, the Hawaii Bowl. This one's usually on Christmas Eve, I believe, back in the day. You know, nothing was like you could bet on except the Hawaii. You'd be opening gifts and you'd roll over and be like, oh, man, I'm winning money or I'm losing money. And guess what, kids? I know I just bought you 9 things, throw them back in the sack, and I got to go back and return them and get my money back. So Coastal Carolina, San Jose State, -9.5, 48.5. You know, both teams 7.5 or 7-5, 8-4 ATS, 9-3 ATS. Matt, here's a little note. I thought this was interesting. The San Jose State team is a very hot team right now. QB is from Hawaii. So you do have a little juice here, a kid going back home trying to do well. Coastal's a mess. I mean, Coastal quarterback's out, coach left, I think. I know they did post something today, too. Did their coach leave, or did that coach post with some girls in bikinis and everyone's all ticked off about it that the head coach posed with girls in bikini? I mean, good Lord, who cares? And the one of the girls' moms kind of like got all fired up and said, relax, everybody, it's fine. So top wide receivers out. I mean, Coastal can't stop the run right now. I think this is a good spot. And I'm not 9.5. I'm usually a guy that's kind of like, oh, I don't know. I think it's a good spot. I think San Jose State covers this and they beat them pretty well.
100% agree. My confidence poll, I had UTSA as the top play. I think I have San Jose State as number 2 and Oregon number 3. I think San Jose State has been to Hawaii basically every year recently because they play Hawaii often. Not a hard trip for them. Coastal has to make like a 9-hour flight. That alone's crushing. Now they're going to throw all these parties and luau's at these kids. Give me San Jose State with the quarterback, Chevion Cordero. He did lose his tight end and his starting left tackle, but I still think they're good enough to beat the Chanticleers without their quarterback, without their coach, on the road in Hawaii Bowl. How many fans is Coastal Carolina going to have? 50? And unless everybody has rich from there and can get away for the holidays. But, yeah, I mean, San Jose State can make the trip, maybe even come back for Christmas. Who knows? So, yeah, I think this is an easy one. SJSU Spartans go.
All right. There we go. And just be careful. I mean, that's my only tip. I mean, I understand it's fun to gamble these bowl games. It's hard right now. I mean, we're going to get into better ones coming up here soon. I mean, I just saw one here tonight. Coleman out of Florida State. He just opted out. We'll talk about Florida State, Georgia here coming up. We're going to try. I'm going to work on a guesser. I got 1 or 2 guests in mind for next week to try to break down the Final Four. We got the Final Four coming up with Michigan, so I can't wait for that. So we'll break it down. So, hey, Jeff, you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, here we go. I want to hear your favorite part of the Chevy Chase, that vacation movie with Christmas Vacation. What's your favorite part?
Merry Christmas. Shitter's full.
Shitter's full. Okay.
Yeah, when he's unloading into the sewer system. Yep.
Yeah, I like that. Maddie, what's your favorite part?
I like Uncle Lewis with when he's lighting the cigar, and just the way Uncle Lewis talks. Anything, hey Grizz, he's the best.
Scott, what's your favorite part?
I'm going to have to rewatch that movie.
Oh, okay.
Come on now.
Scott, strike one.
All right. He's still one of the best producers in the game and one of my favorites. I still like one of my favorites is, Clark, is your house on fire? No, those are Christmas lights, Aunt Bethany. Okay, here's my second one for Jeff tonight.
All right.
Die Hard. Now, listen, I know this guy is, Matt, you're a Die Hard guy, right?
100% Christmas movie.
Okay.
Always will be.
Okay. That's where I was going.
I'll fight you on it.
Okay, well, everybody can have their opinion. Relax, tough guy. Okay, I know Dr. Brand, I know you guys, I have to hear it you guys really break down. Jeff, Die Hard, Christmas movie, yes or no?
It's a Christmas movie along the lines of Gremlins, which is also a Christmas movie. Great,
man. Jeff.
Yeah.
I love how you threw Gremlins into that. Okay, so why do you think Gremlins is a Christmas movie?
Just it's set in Christmas. It's about Christmas, and I think it's as much about Christmas as Die Hard is. I mean, just one of those things that you think about it. I think about Christmas. I was in my formative years when that came out, and I was still about Christmas because I had younger brothers that were young enough to appreciate Christmas, and actually, I'm kind of like Mr. Christmas. My old roommates and they used to joke about me always having a Santa hat and decorating the house and all that stuff. So anything I can associate with Christmas, I do, I think.
Good answer. Ken says in the chat, Die Hard is absolutely a Christmas movie. I've seen bits and pieces of Die Hard. I mean, maybe I'll get bashed. I'm not. I mean, hey, listen, Bruce Willis, unbelievable actor. It's so sad what's going on with him right now, but I think I have watched some of that, and it's a great movie.
Hey, I have an idea, Smitty.
Yeah, go for it.
You and Scott should get together and watch Christmas Vacation and then Die Hard back to back.
Yeah.
I could break down. Hey, I could do about, how many times I still have that on like VHS tape down in my house. Like I taped it on like NBC on a Sunday night when I was like maybe 13. Hey, let's throw a little trivia. Hey, Jeff.
Yes.
Who plays the son? What was his big show?
The son in which?
In Christmas Vacation.
Anthony Michael Hall? Isn't that who that was? Or is that the first one?
That's the first one.
That's the first one. Christmas Vacation. What was his big TV show?
Oh, no. I can't remember who the kid was because they changed them each time.
Yeah, Christmas Vacation.
I'll push the button for the steal.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's Johnny. I'm not even going to try to pronounce his last name. It starts with a G, but he's from the Big Bang Theory.
Big Bang Theory. Good job.
Yep.
Good job. A little trivia. A little Christmas trivia.
Yeah, I wouldn't have gotten that one anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nothing.
That's great.
I've never seen Big Bang Theory.
Okay. Well, and you wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Well, hey, that's great. That was good info there. Hey, great stuff, everybody. Maddie, you have anything before we bounce here?
No, I wanted to say that we should have got out South Florida because I like South Florida with their quarterback tonight, that Byron Brown. I think he's really good. I think 30-some-odd touchdowns on the season. I think he gets it done tonight. Puka Nacua just scored for the Rams. That's huge. But, hey, happy holidays, everybody. We're going to be back next week, right, Smitty?
Yeah, we're going to try. I got a good guest that we've had on before. I really want to try to bring them on to break down the Final Four. So we're going to try to get a later week show in and break down the Final Four. So we'll keep everyone on X and posted, and I'm going to try to get our main guy coming on. If not, I'm going to try to work somebody else to break down some Final Four info for us next week. So
perfect.
Yeah, everybody. Hey, thank you so much. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Maddie, what do we always say?
Hey, bang your bookies, everybody.
Thanks for listening to the Notebook Wagering Podcast. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any episodes, and be sure to follow @Notebook Wagering. Until next time.
Guys.
Yeah, all the shows.
Yep.
Thanks
Yeah, everybody's popping tonight. Everybody's on their game. Yeah.
Amazing.
That was fun. That was fun. Good Christmas.
That was fun listening.
Good Christmas.